All right, so first thing is I don't need 4 more 16s because 16s are already 4 2s. How many more 2s do I need? So I just do this, right? 2. How many more A's do I need? 2 more A's, right, to make 5? So is everything good so far? Little tears coming out. Something's wrong. What's wrong? Can I put these together? I want to put these together. I can't. Why? They don't have the same root. So, of course, this guy needs a 5th root to be able to get in there and do the shit he's supposed to do, right? I'm trying to give this guy another 2 and this guy... They got to be able to get in there. How do they get in there? We're the same stuff, right? They have the same root. So what do I do to the top? Same thing. Not because of anything in the top, but just because the bottom needed this, so the top's going to get that 2 to make it legal. So on the top, you get 3 times this stuff, right? And on the bottom, you get 5th root of 2 to the 5th, A to the 5th, which is how you designed it, right? You designed it so that could happen. 3 5th root of 2A squared all over 2A. Okay.
I don't really get what you started with, right? You started with the black?
Yep.
You just decided to make the purple to cancel it out?
I didn't just decide to do purple. Purple's what makes the problem work, right? So black is the problem. Rationalize the denominator. It's a 5th root. So how do I make it so it can work? Make everything inside have 5 parts to it, right? I can only do the square. I can do the cube root of 27y because 27 has 3 parts, 3, 3, 3. So I can't do the cube root of 9 because it only has 2 parts. So I'd say the 9 is missing a 3. So here, how many 2's am I missing? I've already got 4.
1.
I need 1 more. I've got 3 A's. I need 2 more. Okay. Whatever I do to the bottom, I better do to the top. Always. So again, that's why I call it complete the root. It needs 5. It's only 4. Okay, 1 more. It's 5. There's only 3. Okay, 2 more. Complete what the root needs.
What did you do with 8C?
Oh yeah, so that's the conjugate thing, right? Bottom is square root of 5 minus 1, so you multiply square root of 5 plus 1. You multiply by the conjugate.
So that would cancel out?
So that the bottom becomes nice and rational. Yep. I have another problem like that. 3K. Same thing happens. No. Good question, though. Why not? Because I said no. Haha.
You lose all the information.
Can we just not have a test and give us all A's?
I'm not going crazy asking for
All right. So we agree there's a line to draw. We just disagree on where it is. I'm curious, those of you that, who's taking like 120 or 160 next and that's all they need? Why did you decide not to take 103? Or did you know that was an option?
Yeah, because 103 is the intermediate version of this.
103 is the, well, just to be direct, slightly watered down version of this.
This is the harder version.
This is the business one.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's if you need to take like business
178.
calculus or you need pre-calculus. And there's nothing wrong with taking 110. Please, your God, don't get me wrong. I was just curious why the choice of 110 over 103.
Because I didn't need 103, I needed 110.
I know, but I'm talking about the people that
Oh, well, yeah, I needed 110 to get to 120, I think. Or,
no 103 gets you to 120.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I guess I just wanted a challenge.
Cool, I like it. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about like making your own choice. It's just that I'm always trying to feel out the counseling or the did it not make sense the way it was laid out? Did the counselor
The
miscounsel
assessment
you?
test was a little weird. I didn't know what was out of. Like, how many points is it out of? Because I got like maybe like 83 out of something that I did not know of. But it said I could take 110. So
103, comma 110, comma.
it just said 110 or like a. It just said, yeah, it just said 110.
Really? No, it's
Or
when I
like a
say
tutoring
one.
class with 120 or something.
Oh my God, that sounds like a Cuimaca result.
Yeah, it gave you Kumaka and Grossmont.
Yeah.
Grossmont just told me 110.
All right, I'm curious. If you could do me a favor and double check on it, make sure it didn't say 103 because that's a big problem. It should say 103 because that's an option. If it didn't, then I really understand.
Aren't they getting rid of 103?
No, not yet. Yeah.
That was with the Southwestern splits this class into two classes. But I guess this year California law is bringing it back into one class. So next semester they're only offering one class that combines the two, whereas Grossmont's already been doing it.
Well, it's really weird you say that because we're going to do a 108, which is 90 and 110 combined.
That's what 298 and that's
That's exactly the same course. 298 is a number that you give experimental courses. You can only run it with that number for 2 years, and then you have to make it into an official course and give it a real number. So now we made it Math 108.
That's what I put last semester.
It's not the easiest thing in the world, for sure. But it's our response to the stupid directive of accelerating everything. Anyway, sorry. Again, I'm full of rants. I'll try not to do that. I had so many teachers in my history that would just rant. And my French teacher would never look anybody in the eye. He'd always look up at the ceiling and talk about his wife and how horrible she was. I'm like, oh my God. I don't need this. I'm not your therapist. So I don't want to make you guys feel like I'm not qualified to help you with this stuff, Jeff. Yes. 170. If you need trigonometry and college algebra, which is 175, take 175 first. Because it builds directly on this. 170 does not. So you do the semester 170, you've forgotten everything you need for 175. It's gone. You'll die in 175, if you do need it.
What if you jump to 176?
176 is 170 and 175 together. So it's not jumping, it's just choosing another way to do it. You do both of them at once.
Where is it?
Yeah, okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, 136
So you can take 176 or 170 and 175. Those are the same thing. Because 176 is those two together. Yeah. Yeah, if you're ready, you don't have to hang out here if you're ready for the test.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, you need to do like.
So do I. I'm cool with it. Trust me. Yes.
We're gonna make an appointment for assessment center for 12. Is that in time?
Wait a minute. What's happening? Oh, yeah, because you...
I have an appointment tomorrow morning, so I won't, like, it'll take up probably the whole class.
Oh, I see. That's right.
No, we got ready.
All right. So you need to remind me through email to send a copy for you over there because they're not going to let you make an appointment until the copy's over there. Yeah. And hopefully they have, I'm not sure how late they're there. That's the other thing.
Like 5.
Huh?
But they're there till 5.
Till 5, okay.
But I'm gonna make it at 12 though.
Oh, okay, I see, okay.
So when will you start it tomorrow morning?
If you email me, remind me. Otherwise, who knows if I'll remember.
Yeah, we can do the Wednesdays, like, try to write it down.
Okay. The LCD is 15. So he needs a 5, and he needs a 3. Yeah. Now, to be honest, there's a shortcut. Watch. 5 times 1 is 5 15ths. 3 times 2 is 6 15ths. But I mean, that's, you gotta really be comfortable with your stuff. It's just LCD. Just give them what they're missing. Just LCD. 15 is LCD, right? So he needs a 5. He needs a 3. Sure. From 10 to 4? 9 to 4. Good Lord. All right, well, shoot me an email. I have to make a makeup test for you. I'll tell you what to do to get the makeup appointment.
Okay,
So email me.
okay.
Yep.
Sounds good, thank you.
Mhm. You got. Oh, here it is. Mhm.
He's looking for a butt. Right? That's a throwback, right?
This one, I would just put exponential multiplication and then multiply and then
Yeah, because the roots are different. There's that 85.
The cover of the album is like a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
735.
What you know? That one?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So yeah, you definitely have to. Well, I mean, you could. So there's one thing you could do. Where'd it go? Here it is. See how the square root of a to the 4th? You could do something with that, but that doesn't really help too much. So yeah, you could write this as 9 to the 1/4, a to the 1/4, b to the 3/4, because now the a's and the b's is just adding the exponents, right? The weird part is the numbers, but you know, how do I say this? 9, so you get like 9 to the 1/4 with some a's and b's shit, right? And then 3 to the 1/2, right? 9 to the 1/4. Let me see if you get this. That's 3 squared to the 1/4, right? See, I'm trying to make the bases the same. So this is 3 to the 1/2. So times 3 to the 1/2. Then you add the powers, you get a whole 3.
Right.
So the numbers are the weirdest part about that problem.
Oh, yeah,
But you're right, otherwise-
that's what I was getting at.
You make fractions, add the fractions for the like bases, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the number is the weird part of that, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Sure.
I was wondering if you could help me out with the matrices, because I get it, kinda. It's just like it trips me up after a bit. Like,
Well, all right. So is it a question about like losing track of what's going on, or
well, like I don't, because like I get the idea. It's just I don't really know how to do it.
oh, so if I have a little one here, let's say,
Like I know the objective is to get a diagonal of 1, 1, 1, and then everything else is supposed to be zeros.
exactly.
And then the one on the right, the column or the column. That's
Yeah, that'll be the answers.
column is the answers X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z.
Yep. So I mean, how? So here I made a little one, right? So what's my goal for this guy?
Turn -3 into 0.
Well, what's my overall goal? Where do I want to end up at 1, 0, 0, 1, right?
Yeah.
With numbers.
Yeah.
So I want to make a 0 here. So how do I use this to make that happen?
3.
Yeah.
3 there?
So I multiply this row by
3.
3. So let me write more than I normally would. So if I multiply this row 1 times 3, it'll be 3, 21, 24, -3, 4, 1. So you always have the option of writing more the less comfortable you are with it. Right? Now if I add those two rows together, where do I want the 0? There, so I'm gonna put the answer in the second row.
So we're adding.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why you always gotta make sure that the signs are opposite, so they actually cancel.
Okay.
3 minus 3 is 0. 21 plus 4 is
25. And
24 plus 1 is
plus
25.
Or 25, yeah.
Yep. And then the top, you divide by 3, because you only needed to multiply by 3 to kill him. So I don't need it still multiplied by 3. I can just bring it back to the way it was. That's why I don't write this whole matrix. I just put next to this what it would be, because it's not going to stay that way.
Yeah.
That's
Then
why I
you
do
stress
that.
later. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then here, I can
Divided by 25.
divide by 25, see? They're both 25, so can't I divide by 25?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this row I can divide by 25. So I think a part of it is you're not really sure what you're allowed to do with the rows.
Yeah.
But remember, this is like 25y equals 25. I can divide both sides by 25. So this line is showing you both sides. That's why I'm allowed to divide a row by something, because it's two sides of an equation. Cool. So I get 0, 1, 1.
Okay.
Now what's still wrong?
The 7.
Yeah. So now I
you
can use
return that into a negative 7.
totally. So multiply this guy by negative 7, and then add those together. So you get 0 and 1. Negative 7 and 7 is 0. Negative 7 and 8 is 1. So now you can see your answer. All right?
Okay.
X is 1, Y is 1. If I add another row and another column, you just have to do what we did a few more times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that basic idea of multiplying by what you need to make something else cancel so you get a 0 where you want it, you just kind of keep doing that over and over and over again.
Okay. So you make the change to the one that you don't want to change, like the 7, the negative 7.
Well, not necessarily.
Mhm.
I mean, if I had one, let's see if I can make something up here. Yeah, if I had 4, 1, 7, I had 2, 3, negative 1 out here. I could double this row, like multiply this row by negative 2.
Mhm.
So it'd be 4, 1, 7, negative 4, negative 6, 2, right?
Mhm.
Add these and put the answer here.
Yeah.
See, it doesn't matter who stays what. You're just trying to make zeros where you know you need them. 4 minus 4 is 0. 1 minus 6 is negative 5.
Yeah, because that's what confuses me, like the direction of where we're going. Like negative 7 and 7 is that going to be 0 or 1?
Well, negative 7 plus 7 is
Is
0.
0.
Yeah.
But then like.
Well, I think
Yeah.
your problem is you don't know where to put the answer, but
Yes.
right, you said there should be a 0 here, so
Yeah.
of course you're going to put the answer in row 1, because when you make a 0, you want it where you know it needs to go. That's how you know where to put the answer.
Okay.
I'm going to make a 0, I want it to show up here, okay, so that's where I'm going to put the answer. Every time. That's how I know.
Don't try to make a 1,
Yeah, you don't have to try to make a 1.
and it'll
Ever.
screw you up.
So if I don't know
Because you get
anywhere-
fractions and it makes it a lot harder than it has to
Fucked
be.
up.
Okay, so if I don't know where to go anywhere, just get the opposite of a number where it's supposed to be a 0.
Yeah, I mean, if I had 2, 5, 1, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 5, 2, 7.
Yeah, because I'll look at that and I'll be like blank, like what
Yeah.
the hell do I?
So if
even
you want to start with the first row, you can multiply this by 3, this by negative 2. They'll both be 6, opposite signs make a 0. I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't want to worry about it, because if you divide by 2 to make a 1, you're going to get a whole bunch of fractions. You got to carry them along. Holy shit. Your main thing is zeros.
Just make
and you
zeros.
know where the zeros need to go.
So just make opposites. Just
Yeah,
cancel
exactly.
them out. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you have to multiply both of them by something to make them.
And even when they like see if you could the middle row, if you times it by 2, that'll be 6 on the top and then 5 in the middle. If you rotate them and then subtract them out, you'd get a 1. But
Well,
then-
yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
but then you'll start getting
right here,
fractions.
right here, if you took row 2 minus row 1,
Yeah.
you would make a 1. If you don't see
Just
that
to make
though,
it negative.
huh?
Just to make
Yeah,
it
yeah. If you
negative,
make if the first row negative,
Uh-huh.
and then you add it to the second row, you're gonna get a 1 there.
yeah, and that's
If you
how
don't
make
see
ones.
that,
Okay.
it doesn't matter. Because you
Okay.
could do like we were just saying. Zeros are what's more important. Ones are nice because they're easier to make things zero. Because if I have a 1 and a -7, I just got to multiply him by 7. If I have a 3 and a -7, shit. So ones are beautiful, but they're not necessary.
But it is necessary to get that diagonal 1, 1, 1.
Yes.
Eventually, but the thing is, I mean, you do stuff and you get to this point, like if you have this,
Just get everything zeros and then focus on
and then see I can divide by 6, divide by 2, divide by 7, and I can make ones at the very end. I don't need to have any ones anywhere until
So
the
you
very
don't-
end if I
You don't
want to.
divide by negatives anymore. You divide itself by positives. So you
Because I
divide
want a
6
1
and
here, right?
6.
So I would divide this row by 6.
Okay, yeah, that's
Get a
what I
1
was
there. So I
Yeah,
don't-
and then whatever the answer is, it could be a fraction, but that doesn't matter.
yeah,
because
you don't
the
care
one's there.
because you don't have to do anything with them.
And the
There's the
zeros
answer.
just stay the same.
That's like the one we started doing with the zeros were in the wrong place and you had to lose a 0.
Mhm.
I don't want to make ones because I make a bunch of fractions. I'll do it at the end and get fractions as an answer, but I'm done. Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get it.
I have
Thank you.
questions on homework.
Yes.
These are the only ones that I couldn't figure out how to do myself on 10-1 at the end.
All right then.
Oh, determine the domain. It's an even root,
Mm-hmm.
so the inside has to be at least
8,
0. You're trying to think ahead too much.
0.
Even root, the inside's got to be at least 0. Can't be negative. So you
Okay.
say t plus 8 greater than or equal to 0 and solve for t. All it matters is an even root. That's what tells me there's
So
a problem.
T plus 8.
Whatever that number
greater
is,
than or equal
it's
to
got to
0.
be at least
And
0.
then that one's the same thing. 4
Because it's an
minus
even root.
2 greater than or equal to 0.
Because it's an even root. I
And then
love
this
it.
is a negative root.
But it's an even root. Right? What's this one say? 110 says, determine the domain. Okay. Yeah. So the inside has to be greater or equal to 0. Now the
So
funny
just,
thing,
just ignore this part?
because that part has no problems. It's just 5.
So then I would just write this as 3x squared plus 1 greater than or equal to 0?
And that's the hardest problem on the test. But the minute I say what I'm about to say, it becomes the easiest. Is there any way in hell that 3 times a positive number plus 1 can't be greater than 0?
No.
So then this is all real numbers.
Oh, okay.
Any x I put in there is going to be okay because I can't make that negative.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I like
Okay, good.
I like it.
Thank God. Thank you.
That's the same thing I would say. Thank God that made sense.
What are your number of the number of your office?
100, 107. So it's
100.
if you went straight down this, it's the last door, the last office on this side. Straight down here. Yeah, exactly. We're out the door, straight down, the last office on this side, next to the Administration of Justice. Yeah, I'm in there.
Times that you're there.
It's on the syllabus. So 7:30 to 8 right before class, and then 11:30 to 12:30 right before my second class.
More homework.
Hey.
I think I do have one more question about test corrections. That's due tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
In our